What's going on, vegans? I don't even know what a vegan is. It sounds pretty cool, though. It's like a crazy old mythological race or something. Anyways, how you guys doing? My name's Pwn. Hopefully the Battlefielders are doing great today. I really do hope you had a great holiday, and we're kicking off the new year very, very strong. But for now, I want to talk to you guys about his video has been kind of on my mind a little bit, and I've been trying to think about how to approach this. And I want to talk about what is a commentator. And the whole topic is going to be based about what commentators are, what we do, what our jobs entail, because a lot of people, a lot of you guys viewers think all these different things about us. And a lot of you guys idolize some of us. A lot of you guys look up to us. And I see people freak out all the time when they see me in a game, or they're like, oh my God, Pwn replied to me. And I'm like, what? Is that supposed to be special? I mean, I'm just some of these things bother me. Some of these things intrigue me. But I want to talk to you guys about it, kind of give you like a take your subscriber base to work day, where you guys get to understand what I do through my daily schedule, through my course, how it has impacted my life, and what it is to be a YouTube commentator. So, first things first, we've got to talk about what is an actual commentator before we get into the gritty details. What is a commentator? A commentator is basically a person that does voiceovers on top of gameplay, cartoons, something like that. And I think you can cut down commentators in a few different sections. For example, most of you guys should know who Chowboy is. Chowboy to me is not a commentator. He doesn't really speak much. He laughs a lot and he blows things up and runs into people. It's just one of those things. So even though he's not a commentator to me, he's still an entertainer. And whereas, this is where things just get separated a little bit. I see some of these guys that do like stat videos. They're teachers. They do product reviews, so on and so forth. They're not really entertainers to me. Most of them are just, you know, telling you things about this. So they're more like teachers. So they may not be super spunky, energetic, and flamboyant, but they're still teaching you something. So commentators could be breaking down in between different things, whether or not they're storytellers, which would be something that I do. I like to tell things and goof off and be funny. And then you have people that teach and are a little bit more educational, and then you have people that do other things. But for the most part, our job is to talk over things and try to entertain you guys. That is our goal, to either entertain and or teach you guys. And that's what you take away from what we do. Now, being a commentator is very, very unique. It's a blessing because of a few different things. For one, this is a job for a lot of us. Some of us get paid pretty well. And if you guys do not know, some of these guys make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Some of the bigger guys, PewDiePie, Syndicate, some of these guys that you may watch, you know, make redonkulous amounts of money, and that's sponsorships excluded. Those are other opportunities that open up for companies to pay us to do stuff as well. But this is beyond more than a hobby for a lot of people. This is a career path. This is a job. So when we try to do things, a lot of people are like, why are you putting all these tags? Why is your videos in all caps? Why do you have a suggestive thumbnail with titties everywhere? It's trying to get you to the video to click on it. So there are strategies, there's business, and the one thing that I've always actually defined YouTube as is cutthroat, because it is pure competition between peers. There are people that are successful that don't deserve it, but they knew how to play business right, they knew how to grow on YouTube, knew how to network and get companies to work and promote them, and they blew past the people that may have been more deserving or more entertaining. So in its core, YouTube is a competition, a business, and commentators are the people that are trying to make it on that canvas. So our job is to create content for you guys, be it you're a cartoonist and, you know, you like to illustrate, do this and that, voiceovers, anything like that. Our job is to try to create the best possible content to stand out in a crowd full of thousands. So a commentator comes in and basically entertains you at its core. Now they have to find their own thing that makes them be distinguished, something that separates them and makes them unique from the other people. And to do this, it starts off. We wake up in the morning, we, you know, take a leak, and we get everything started. Now, YouTube is a very, very at least for the gamers, it is a full-time job. YouTube, more often than not, takes up the majority of time. I put more hours into this than I've ever put even remotely close to any other job. I put in, I'd say, an average of 10 hours a day, maybe 12. And that would vary around my schedule, whether or not I want to spend more time on the weekend. If I want to have a Saturday off, which has never happened for me before, if I wanted to have more time, for example, on Saturday, instead of working 10-hour days all 7 days, or 12-hour days all 7 days, I can work and split things up and crank out like 5, 12, 14-hour days, and then have most of Saturday and Sunday to my family and stuff. So whereas people look at this as we're just, you know, video game commentators, and, oh, I wish I could get paid to just do this stuff and I can play video games, you guys are ignorant. That's the people that say that frustrate me, because if it was just as simple as playing video games and posting it, everybody would do it. It's not that easy. You have to have personality, you have to have a persona, something that you can do to entertain yourself and stand out. It's not easy to come up with commentary topics every day. How do you talk to an empty room, to a little dick-shaped microphone every day for 10, 20, 30 minutes a day and come up with new stuff to keep it refurbished, fresh, interesting, and make people come back? What can you do to make them want to come back and listen to you? Why are you guys listening to me right now? Why are you doing it? And it's because I try to keep things fresh. People need to keep things fresh or stick to a strong structure. Have unique shows, times where you come back. There's a reason the aggressive recon videos get more views than any of the others on my show. It's because, you know, every Saturday, there's another one coming in there. So you need structure. You need a stability kind of thing, a backbone for what you're doing. And YouTube and commentators, we have a lot of time that we invest in what we're doing. I really wish I had more time with my family, but I don't, and I never ever will have that luxury of doing that, because the moment you stop doing that is the moment you get replaced. If I was to take 2 weeks off and find myself, you guys that are used to seeing me every day are going to end up finding another commentator to fill that void, and when that void's already filled, you may not come back to me. So this is a no-break job. This is something where you don't get to take time off. It's something that you always do. We work very, very hard to entertain, and it's not doing that. We got to come up with topics. We have to create this and that. There's networking. We got to talk with businesses and each other. You got to sync each other's schedule up. There are times where I'm up at 6 a.m. like I was today, and I will be up and go to bed at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, I may be up till 4 or 5 a.m. You have to work with friends when they have their time schedule. Things are never as easy or as structured as people think, especially when you have a lot of things that you try to do with other people. YouTube is far more complicated than people give it credit for. The viewers, you guys see us and you guys just try to be entertained, but there's a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot of editing. For example, this video you're watching right now, it's probably going to cap off at around the 10 or 20 minute range. It's going to take me about 15, 20 minutes to piece this entire commentary together. It's going to take about 40 minutes to an hour to render, and it's going to take about an hour to hour and a half to upload, maybe 2 hours. So all in all, this entire video to make took me about 4 hours out of my day. 4 hours where I had to do things and work, and that's outside of the whole gaming. Not to mention, you have to get the gameplay, and you may play for an hour and get no luck. You may have to play for a few hours. So gaming is only part of it. I mean, gaming is just the basic raw form. It's not until you are able to speak over top of it confidently and comfortably to do that. I actually have a little cool freaking moment coming up soon for my 100K special. When we do hit that, hopefully in the next week or two, I'm going to put up a video with my very first commentary. I'm going to show you guys how I've progressed as a commentator in the 3 to 4 years that I've been doing this. And you're going to see exactly how boring as hell I was back then. I was embarrassingly boring. And it's a great thing. It's a great hobby. It turned from a hobby to a job to support my family. And to this day, I still wake up every day smiling, knowing that I've impacted thousands of people's lives. And I don't see the star treatment these people get. These guys, I mean, you look up to them, you look up to us, but again, a lot of these are personalities. There are some of these guys that seem really, really cool online, and they're dicks in real life, and vice versa. So a lot of people get these weird ideas about commentators that we have easy jobs, or our job's more, you know, easier than everyone else's, and blah, blah, blah. I think this job is probably the most stressful job I've had in a long time because of the time that you have to put into it. And you're your own boss. You completely control the fate of everything. There is no middleman. I mean, I miss the days back where, you know, I was a manager or I was a, you know, cashier or whatever it was I was doing, and I had someone above me. That person was responsible for me. I never had any responsibilities beyond basic duties back in the day. So, you know, YouTubers are different, and a lot of people judge us and look at us and like, oh, what happens when YouTube falls apart and he's gonna get a real job? I'm like, motherfucker, this is a real job. This takes a lot of work, a lot of time and effort, and it takes consistent dedication. So I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what it is that I do, what it is we go through, to understand that every video I put out for you guys takes 4 hours of preparation and rendering. Some of them, like the gun review ones, take 6 to 7 hours. They take almost double the time. Montages take a few days to a few weeks. So some of these things, there's so many things that go on behind the scenes that you guys do not know about, not to mention the hours of working with networks and sponsors and people, the hours that I put in just to raise and try to get products for you guys for the 25 days of Christmas was ridiculous. But it's a very challenging job, even though people do not think it. I mean, people just look at us and like, oh, we play video games. And I'm like, no. But that's just me. But I want to thank you guys for your time. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this commentary. Hopefully you've learned a few things, or maybe you can learn to respect what it is we do a little bit more. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to become a YouTuber. It's not all, farts and rainbow sprinkles. It's not all fun and games. It is more than anything a really, really, really rough job. But you can have fun while doing it. Just because it's complicated, the editing, the rendering, the time involved, doesn't mean it's not fun to commentate. So like gaming, because it's a responsibility now, it's not as fun as it used to be when I was a casual player like you guys, when I could just play all day and I pick when I want to play. Now I have to play. I have to play all the time. And as most of you guys are like, oh man, it's the perfect job for me. That's not really how it gets to be. I do enjoy my games. I have my moments. But what really, really kicks it off for me is being able to actually talk over it. What makes me be able to express myself openly, spread eagle, ready for all of you guys to receive me. I like the hell out of commentating. That is the highlight of my day. So again, thank you guys. Hopefully you've learned something. Maybe you've learned a little bit more about what we go through on a day-to-day basis, and can understand that we put in probably a good 60 to 80 hours a week. The average commentator puts in at least that. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't see many other people really telling what we do, and but I see a lot of people just do not have the right idea about what we do and the time we put in, and do not respect what we do as a job. So I just wanted to kind of squash that out. So thank you guys. Have a great day. I'm going to go do things. So stay moist, ladies and gentlemen.